And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, June 26th, in the year of our Lord 2021. I don't know. It's just there. This is season 15, episode 21. And I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
I'm Wendy.
Took a second.
You were looking at me, so...
You guys didn't see her face. We should have. I got to put a camera on it. You should have. Just this whole stare and like, well, hi, Wendy.
You didn't tell me. Sorry.
We're sorry about that. It was stage fright that was on your face. It was just...
Hi, I'm Daisy. Remember, what was that Mario Kart?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Daisy. Every time she'd smash you or whatever, just, I'm Daisy. Yeah, this is here. I forgot to do this last week, by the way.
Really?
Forgot to do it. Completely forgot to do it.
Didn't even notice.
Had to eyeball the whole, my mouth moving when I was saying certain words. Had to get that all synced up. That's why this helps.
Yeah. Kind of important.
Hey, if you want to get in touch with us, it's real easy to do. Just give us a call, 334-272-9228. Or 334-272-9228. You can call us if you want to. You can check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. That's where I would recommend you to go. Ingamechat.net. In, not as in the letter N. I don't know what that would stand for. But INGAME chat.net. If you go there, go all the way to the bottom of the page. Don't scroll. It's best to grab the scroll bar and just swipe down because it's going to take you a while to get down there. Press end on your keyboard. Zoom. There you go. Once you get down to the bottom, there's all those links where you can get in touch with us for both our, well, you'll already be on our website, but the phone number's there. For Twitch, where you can watch us, for Twitter, for Facebook, for just a bunch of different stuff. And our Discord is there too, which is where I was going to bring that up as well. You go into our Discord and you can just join into the chat room that we're at right now, and you can chat with us on the air if you would like to. You want to throw out your questions, you got some comments on something, it is all right there in our Discord. Just find it at our website, go all the way to the bottom, join the Discord, ingamechat.net. So, we're on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv, type in Game Chat. You can find us that way as well, where you can watch us and join in the chat room. Does anybody else's, I'm just going to bring this up now. When I want to look at who's in the chat room for Twitch, that thing takes forever to update and populate and everything else. Not because we don't have anybody in there. Maybe we don't. I don't know. Right now it's just AC. All I see is AC Wraith, myself, and RJ. That could be all that's in there. That could easily be the case. It just takes, for whatever reason, it takes a while for it to update and populate. Because I'll see names in there and I'll go look at the users and there'll be absolutely none of those people in the chat room. So, I don't know. It's, you'd think I'd figured out Twitch at this point, but obviously not. So, welcome back to the show. Nobody's in the Discord right now. I see Matt is on, or at least online where Discord is, but he's probably got his phone doing something else. But anyway, Medusa's Mirror is in the Discord as well. pop into the chat room and talk to us. Anyway, welcome to the show. Show note for you: we are not doing a show next weekend. It is 4th of July weekend here, and so yeah, we're not going to do a show. We'll be back 2 weeks from today. We'll be back here to do our show. So anyway, just to let you know, no show next week. Before we get to where we left off, we are going to get there because I did save. In fact, most of what we have is all saved from last week because we didn't even get around to it. But as far as like what have we played, I'll start with RJ. What did you play?
Not too much this week, but a lot of Virtua Fighter 5 Showdown, of course, because I'm still trying to get my bearings in that. I finally got over 200 matches. I'm at 250 matches by now. But I'm still a long way away from catching up to some friends of mine who are at 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 matches at this point.
That's a lot.
Yeah. All I got to do is play 8 hours a day, and I'll get there. But with work and responsibilities, it's not going to happen anytime soon. So
right.
I'll just have to keep plugging away till I get there. And I will eventually.
You will.
You
totally will.
It's one of my favorite fighting franchises, so I'll get there eventually. I'm just going to keep playing until I get everything down pat. Outside of that, a little bit of Grand Theft Auto 5, mostly online because there have been some specials and deals on there. I finally was able to get the Kosatka submarine, which was half off for a little bit, so I was able to pick that up. So it would unlock the Cayo Perico heist, and I was able to try that out. It was one of the more popular heists because it is one where you could do solo. That was one of the things that players was clamoring for, the ability to do a heist without partners,
without having
groups or anything like that. Because I'll tell you something about Grand Theft Auto. That game's giving me trust issues, so I'm not really sure about doing anything with random people on that game. Because just this morning, actually, my vehicle was blown up twice. I was shot 3 times from people who I didn't know me, anything like that. It was just I was there, and they think the thing to do is just shoot people at random for griefing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it gives you benefits and things like that. Some things you just can't do unless you shoot other players. So there's a benefit to that, I guess. But what doing the heist has taught me is that I have no patience for stealth in Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, in Grand Theft, yeah.
Because one of the aspects of the mission,
it was Grand Theft Auto is not a stealth game, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. It never has been. And anytime they put that stuff in there, it annoys me. Yeah. But and I don't remember because it's been a long time since I've played it. But I mean, I know there have been submissions where it's like, don't get caught, that sort of thing. Well, you don't have a stealth system built into your game for the most part.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of aspects to stealth in that game that's not just not there. It's like
at least not the stealth that's in my head as far as what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I get it because you're used to Rainbow Six and Sam Fisher and that type of stealth, that high quality stealth. But in this case for GTA, it's basically get behind cover. And just get out the cones of sight. That's pretty much all you have. That's all your options that you've got. But the length of travel that I have to go for this setup mission is I have to go from where this party is being held on the island, and I have to get to the southern region of the island, sneaking all the way past there. Now there are vehicles there I could use to get there.
I was going to say, can you get spotted in vehicles, or is that kind of a cover?
That's one of the things that he tells you, because one of the things it says is the guards will recognize the noise from this vehicle, and if you get too close to them, they'll see that you're not the normal driver for this vehicle, and you get busted that way. So there's probably a way to use the vehicles to get to where I need to go, but I haven't discovered it yet. I'll probably just have to get a walkthrough and look through and see what I can do from there. But the thing I was thinking about during the stealth mission was that it's like, wow, if I had to I have enough equipment available to me that I could turn this whole island into a parking lot, but I can't because I have to be stealthy. I mean, I've got stealth helicopters, I've got combat vehicles, I've got rockets and missiles and bullets and Gatling guns and all cruise missiles and orbital cannons and things like that, all accessible to me, but I can't use it because I have to be stealthy. I have to get from one end of the island to the other and not get spotted. Not a very
that doesn't sound fun
doable task. But if I want to get the theft, the heist that gives me like 1.5 to 2 million, probably 3 million per heist, I've got to do it this way. So I'm going to do it. I've just got to get the method down. And when I do that, I'll be able to enjoy it a lot more. Won't have to be stealthy. I don't think I'll be stealthy in the future. I'll probably be hitting every guard and enemy I can, and just blaze through and go out the other way. That's probably what I'll be doing the rest of the way. I'll do this stealth one time, and then I'll be done. After that, it's missiles and bullets and rockets galore at that point. So, yeah, but I've got to do it this way first. So, yeah, that's all I've been playing. VF5 and Grand Theft Auto 5 GTA Online.
Yeah. For me, it's been Destiny, of course. Usually, that's pretty much all it is. So, just more of that. And I've hit my max,
Yeah.
power cap or pinnacle cap, whatever it is. I've reached the pinnacle, and now it's I can go. The only way to go further is to to increase the level of my artifact. But yeah, now I got to work on the hard of the hard. Nightfalls now, the Grandmaster Challenge Nightfalls, which is like the end. It's like the end game, like raids can be considered an end game type activity, and then they wanted to give the people more stuff to do, and so they came up with these really, really hard Nightfalls and said, okay, well, here you go. We won't release these until later in the season because you can only be you have to be full pinnacle cap. So you got to be 1320, plus you have to have your artifact up to 15 levels. That gets you to 1335, which is that's when you can start doing this, because I think Grandmasters are set at 1360. So yeah. So
essentially, you have to be maxed out. You can't improve any further.
And that's just the base.
Yeah, that's the base. Yeah, you can't improve any further. So before you get
you can't. Well, you can, because you have to increase your artifact ranking, because that will continue to increase, and that adds
more.
Yeah. But like your whole, you'll never get any item that is more than 1320.
Right.
The pinnacle cap. You'll never get any item that's over that. So all your weapons, all your armor, it's all going to be 1320 every time you get a drop of any kind. It's going to be that sort of thing, and your artifact is what will push you beyond that, because every time the artifact upgrades in two ways. It upgrades one where you can get mods through the selection that it gives you. I don't know if you ever messed with the artifact system when they added that in. It's been a while.
I haven't gotten artifacts that I'm aware of.
As you do bounties and unlock XP, that goes towards your artifact, and your artifact, when you make a loop around or whatever, you fill it up with whatever, it unlocks mods that you can select from a bunch. I don't know. I think you get 12. Yeah, you get 12 mods you can pick from, and
per level up.
Per level up.
Okay.
And then once that stops, once you've hit all 12, then it starts. Then it also just goes into your bonus.
Okay.
And so while you've been doing this, by the time you unlock all your artifact mods, which are all 12 of them, you should be probably around 10 on your, at least on your artifact power level. So you get to 1320 and you're up to 10, you got 1330. Now you just need to, keep doing more stuff that's going to give you XP so that you can, get more levels on your artifact, which will increase you higher and higher and higher. And that's the only way. So that's how you could get somebody way back when they first started this artifact thing. Somebody went nuts because when they were doing the artifact, we had not hit 1,000, but somebody went nuts and got these and got their bonus thing up to over 1,000, which was a whole lot of grinding that they put in. They just wanted to see what would happen. And it just went from 1,000 to 1,001, but they were up there. I remember seeing screenshots of that, and it's like, God, that's a lot of work that he had to put in there. So, that's how you can kind of increase and get closer and closer to making these just a little bit easier, but they are meant to be a massive challenge. A massive challenge. So much so that only one Grandmaster is available per week until I think the last week or 2 weeks of the season. They'll unlock all of them, so you can just pick them from a list and go down them. That way, maybe the one earlier in the season gave you some trouble. Well, maybe at the end of the season you've ranked up enough that maybe it's not as hard. So I think that's what a lot of people are hoping for when they do these things. But anyway, that's where I'm at on that. And what else did I play? I want to say I played something else. I played 2 Point Hospital
Okay.
last night, and that is everything that I've always expected it to be, which was it's got a lot of good reviews and everything else. It's a good little hospital management type thing. You know, that's what it is. It's basically you running a hospital. You know, you're the one who hires the employees, you build the facility, you put in what's needed, you do all that stuff, and then you got a certain budget, and you got to fit in within that budget, and there you go. I mean, it gave me a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon type stuff, but obviously more set in a hospital type of thing.
Okay.
They really, like 2 Point Games or whoever it was that built this thing, they're really, really, really digging into the Chris Sawyer, Planet Coaster, Roller Coaster Tycoon, that they're really building into that. Not so much the SimCity stuff, but more into the Roller Coaster Tycoon thing, which is the only relation that I have to it, because I haven't played many others that are like that or give that same vibe. So yeah, that was playing it on the console. I see what they did. I see how they kind of like, hey, let's, this type of game normally has it's more of a PC interface, a mouse. You click on that thing. So when it's ported over to console, and I really haven't tried to play anything on a console that would be more specifically lined up, like City Skylines and what is that other one? What's that other one?
Is it a city sim building or something like that?
It's
I was about to say any puzzle game you play, because that's a point and click type
Civilization.
thing.
That's what I was thinking of. Like the Civilization games and like the those type of things where the interface is just kind of built. It comes to you. It's organic the way it comes to you when you're on PC. So the import of it or I say import, but the porting over to a console, I see what they tried to do, and it actually works. And if this is all you've got, that is great. But I would suggest if you've got a PC and you can get that game now, obviously Game Pass, and I don't know if it's on. It's a good question. 2 Point Hospital, yeah, PC Game Pass. What is this? That's from March 5th. Coming soon to Xbox Game Pass for PC. 2 Point Hospital that was in February of last year. I'm sorry. Let me find something a little bit more recent. And I can't. I'll have to look and see. Because I'm not sure, and everything that I'm Googling right now is not really helping out for me to find out. But if it is on PC and you can get it for free in that way, I would suggest playing it on PC, but whatever works for you is perfectly fine. So Destiny 2 Point Hospital, that is pretty much all that I played. Over to Wendy there. What did you get your hands into this week?
Heavy Rain.
Oh, Heavy Rain. A little bit of it, though.
Just a tiny bit, a little bit.
How far did you do? Okay. Just a little bit is all she played.
No, I got to the point where he's looking for his son.
Yeah, that gets a little boring,
and he's
doesn't it?
Screaming for
I
him.
know.
Yeah.
You had to do that for a
long time.
Inordinate amount of time, it felt.
It became a meme, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
Because you had to do it for it's been a long time since I played that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was a certain place.
What's the kid's name?
Jason.
Yeah, it was.
How could you forget that?
Yeah, I could forget it because
Jason.
it's been a while. It was before the press F to pay respects. It was press X to Jason.
Jason.
Because you kept every time you press X, dude would yell the kid's name.
Jason.
So there you go. It got tedious.
It did.
It got real tedious.
Now I don't know. I don't know if you had to be in a certain spot in the. Was it a mall?
Yeah.
I don't know if you had to be in a certain spot in the mall or I don't know. They didn't really give you a lot of direction. You just had to go there and press the button because that's the only prompt that it was giving you. Yeah, Lethal Migraine says 2 Point Hospital is on Game Pass on PC. So if you've got it on Game Pass on Xbox and you've got a PC that can run it and you've got Game Pass there, I would pick that. But otherwise play it where you're comfortable. Jason. So I can't remember how that ends in a sense of what you had to do to kind of get out of that whole scene and move on to the next.
It may have been a time thing.
I can't remember, but it was so ridiculous.
Because you're not finding him.
No, you don't.
Yeah, because what would be the point of the game?
Yeah.
Game's
it
over.
Was so ridiculous.
Yeah, there was I remember going through that, and it did get annoying having to do that all the time. Stop hitting X.
I just got a message. He said, "Let's go to the phone and talk to Matt." Hey, Matt.
Hey, it worked.
What worked?
My subliminal message to you.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I just saw it and I was like, "Oh, Matt's sending me a message. Maybe he's outside. Maybe I don't know what he's saying, but maybe he wants to talk." Well, there you go. Where are you this week, Matt?
Oh, I'm driving home right now, actually.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were out of town. Well, you are out of town, but anyway. Oh, that's why you're not doing the Discord thing. Okay, I see that you're in Discord. You're just not in.
Am I?
You are, yeah.
I have it at home, just running.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, it doesn't say that you're, snoozing or anything. It seems like you're active. That's probably because you have it on your phone.
Yeah.
I would imagine. But don't worry about it. That's fine. Did we lose you?
Weird.
Oh, okay, there you are.
No, I'm here.
Okay. What's going on?
So I've been playing Days Gone.
Oh, okay. PS Plus thing or whatever? Oh, no, it's on PC, isn't it?
PC, yeah.
That's right.
Have y'all played that yet?
I have not. I have it because of PlayStation Plus, or I know when you get a PS5, there's all these different games that come with it, and if you're a PS Plus subscriber and you have a PS5, there's a bunch of different games that come with it, and Days Gone is one of those, even though I already have it, but I haven't actually started playing it, though. I've heard good things about it. What I've heard about this is that it's better than it should be, and a lot of people...
I think
it
didn't on it.
It did, yeah. I was going to say it didn't get its due.
No.
From what it was, and so I'm kind of interested to check that out, because I kind of like when a game kind of has some hype. It comes out, it kind of lays low, and people are like, and then at some point, I don't know, a year later or maybe less, the zeitgeist turns around on it. And it says, no, this is a good game. And they give you, reasons as to why.
It may have been the genre. People were getting burnt out on the genre at this point.
Well, this is a hard genre to... Now, at first it feels like a zombie game, but at the same time, it's really not.
I want to say, but it's still a post-apocalyptic...
Right.
Humanity is fallen type situation.
It has a Last of Us feel, but on
getting burnt out on it,
but on bikes. Like Last of Us Bike Club,
Mm-hmm.
And as easy as like the zombies are, to kill like individually, when you're just riding around your bike and you run into a horde, you just turn around and go, "Oh no," and just go the other direction.
Yeah.
But I'm towards the end of it, and I'm just laughing to myself because you get to this base and there's this army colonel who's a total jerk, and his name is Matt Garrett, and it just cracks me up every time.
Well, no, I got to play it. Just to get to that point, even if that point's close to the end or close to the beginning, it doesn't matter. I got to play it just to get to the Matt Garrett
It's just like, oh man, this guy's it cracks me up.
Did you rub somebody wrong in the video game industry, Matt?
I don't know.
Well, what else? Have you played anything else?
Really, it's just that and work. We're getting ready for like this big thing. I'm going to be I won't have a weekend for the next 3 months. Wow. This is my last weekend.
Savor it.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I'm trying to find some time so I could, the Hind has come out in DCS. So it's a multi-crew. So Kevin and I could, he wants to fly and I'll be the gunner.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I'm looking for that. And I bought Assassin's Creed Valhalla because it was like on the sale, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
PC?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've got it for PC, and I actually have it for, I think, PlayStation 5 as well. The cross save feature on that is really, really cool. I like the fact that it does that. Because I can play it on PC if I want to, and then I can switch back over to PlayStation if I want to do that, and pick up where I left off if that's what I want to do, that sort of thing. Or if I'm playing on the console, want to move to PC, doesn't matter. So cross save is really cool in that regard. It was for Destiny, but I don't do a lot of Destiny on my console.
No.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I still can't find a PlayStation 5.
Nobody can, man.
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 is just, it's hard to get right now, and I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of them pop up. I follow a couple of places, and I haven't seen a lot of them pop up. I've seen some Xboxes pop up, but not so much any PlayStations. What I haven't seen a lot of are PlayStations popping up in retail locations. Mm-hmm. No. I've seen it on Sony's site. Every now and again, I'll see that Sony's, got a queue and got a wait list and everything else to purchase one. But I haven't seen one at like Best Buy or Amazon or Target or any of those locations in a while. I've seen the Xboxes, but not the PlayStation 5s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and inevitably, every time I see that online, I go there and it's like, sold out.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
Not at all.
You got to be quick.
Yeah. So you guys been doing all right?
Doing good, man. Just doing the show. We got some echo coming back on this. Are you listening to us on speaker or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can hear myself come back. I can hear myself talking. He's switching off the speaker, which is probably going to mean his radio is going to turn on, so we're probably going to hear some music.
There we go.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, because I can hear my... Okay, yeah, the radio turned on.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. See, radio came in. Oh, no, this is much better. All right, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, do you have a PS4?
I do, but I packed it up when I was like doing some house stuff and everything. So I haven't just unpacked it yet.
Well, you might need to. It's gonna take a bit. Now I never get updates on when the BX has PS5, so that would be a completely different thing. They don't really update on those.
No.
So I don't know how you'd be able to find out. I'm sure even if BX gets it, it's just gone.
Yeah, the few times that they've had it.
Yeah.
Because they have it for like $475.
Right.
No tax.
Yeah.
So, like, if I could get it for that, then I definitely wouldn't mind.
Well, yeah, it's going to be much. Well, see, it's even going to be harder for you because that's even more discounted. So, I'm sure it's on the high demand. It kind of sucks because by this time in a new console's launch, we should be
6 months on.
Yeah, you should be golden to just go into a store and buy it, or go on Amazon and pick one up if you wanted to. As far as I can remember, now it's that's the thing. I don't normally once I have a console, I stop looking for consoles, right? So, from what I remember, you were basically after Christmas, you were okay to go get one whenever you wanted to. Mm-hmm. But at least 6 months, almost a year in, you should be able to go pick one up. And we're going to get to
no problem.
Yeah, we're going to get to a year on this thing, and you're still not going to be able to.
It's still going to be hard.
Just go buy one. Yeah, it's still going to be difficult to do. I still haven't gotten a graphics card, man, and that's been released in September.
Yeah, that's been a while longer.
Oh yeah, and so hard to get. Thank you so much again for giving me that card last time you were here.
No problem.
Because it has really, really helped me out. Because I haven't got a
placeholder.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been able to get anything. So, yep. Well, good hearing from you, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'll continue to listen to the show.
Will you be able to? I know you won't be able to show up for the show, but I know your weekends are going to be busy. But will you be able to call in like this or pop in on Discord or something?
It just depends on on work.
Okay. Well, the Discord option's there for you if you can't make it, and you got that there. Or if you just want to call in, it's up to you. But hopefully, we'll hear from you pretty soon. We're not doing a show next week. We're doing a show the week after. So.
Okay.
Yeah. But just give us a call and keep us posted.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Good to hear from Matt. And we got to take a break. We're at our break here. When we come back, we will jump into. Well, I don't know if we ever finished our conversation about Heavy Rain there. Just the whole Jason thing. Now you got a little bit more to go with it, obviously, because you really haven't gotten into the game proper just yet.
No.
But that's the beginning of it.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of where everything heads south and the story starts.
Yeah. A lot of decisions to make, a lot of people to interact with, a lot of things to set up before you get to the real meat and potatoes of the whole situation.
Yeah, I told her if she likes that to check out Detroit, and I told her about Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah,
but
I didn't get the same. I played Heavy Rain.
Mm-hmm.
I played Beyond Two Souls. I haven't played Detroit yet, but I have a.
I played the demo of Detroit.
The demo, I had a better feeling with the demo. Beyond Two Souls just didn't have the same. It didn't pull me in.
It didn't.
As much as Heavy Rain did.
I was telling her, I was like, Beyond Two Souls essentially has two endings.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Heavy Rain, Detroit, they all have multiple different endings, and they also have multiple different people who were there with you at the end, depending upon what you did.
Yeah.
Beyond Two Souls has the same thing. It has only two different endings, and depending on what you did, the people who were there with you at the end, it depends.
Yeah.
But none of it felt like I cared. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care who was there with me at the end, you know? And the fact that there were only two choices at the end, no matter what happens, you have this choice, you know, you have column A or column B. Mm-hmm. That's what you have. Whereas in Heavy Rain and probably in Detroit, depending on, you know, your starting line and your ending have your end has a massive amount of different endings that you can reach.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what your path is to get to, because at a certain point on that path, you are stuck with whatever ending's coming out, regardless of which way you go.
There's no going back.
But but you still have multiple, not just A or B. You have like A through F or A through G or whatever.
It's like your time through with Until Dawn.
Yeah, same thing.
See, there's a lot of little choices in there that seems innocuous, don't mean anything, but they have big impact later on down the line. So yeah. Every choice matters. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and so, but Beyond Two Souls is like this or this. That is it.
I think the problem with it was it wasn't focused on the splitting paths and things like that. It was like the supernatural aspect of it that was new, and it was just something I really didn't care for. Really.
Here's where I put it. If you look at if you look at the budget for Heavy Rain and the budget for Detroit, and then you look at the budget for Beyond Two Souls, I don't exactly know what they are. But Beyond Two Souls, by far, especially considering Detroit and Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, by far, had more name actors in them than the other two games. What
was it? Ellen Page, Willem Dafoe, I think.
Yeah, and I want to say there was like one or two others.
Yeah,
who were actors in that as well, and I can't remember who they were, but they were. But that's what I'm saying. And so their cost was probably more than what they would spend on anybody else in some of these games that they work with.
Because I can't think of any named actors in Heavy Rain.
Not at all. And I can only think of one in Detroit. There may be
Henriksen, right?
Two. Is that the police guy?
Lance Henriksen was in.
No,
Detroit,
not just. Well, he may have been. Not just him though. There was somebody else. There was. He was the guard from Shawshank. He also voiced Lex Luthor. What is his name?
I can't think of it right now. Yeah, can't think
Gosh.
Of it. But some known actors in this project, right?
Right.
Because it definitely were some in Beyond Two Souls. But
yeah, and that's why I figured it was Clancy Brown. That's who I'm thinking of. Clancy Brown.
Yeah, but their presence in there didn't help me pull me into the story at all.
Yeah. So my theory is just that they had this budget and they had this much time with them, and to film them with multiple endings and multiple paths or whatever probably would have accelerated that budget. I guess. I don't know. That's just me. It could have just been the way the story was written to be that way. Maybe they looked at Heavy Rain and said, we gave them a lot of choices. Let's cut that back for our next game and see how that works. Oh, it didn't work too well. Let's go back to a bunch of choices. I don't know. Yeah. And we've already gone over this far too long. We need to take a break. When we come back, we will finish up the chat that we had last week when we were talking E3 stuff, and we'll get into some of this newer stuff. And I'll address what you were talking about with the Activision thing as well, and why it's not on our list here in our news. But I did see it throughout the week, and I'll give you that. I'll tell you why we don't have it in here coming up. Music here from a new game that released this week. It is another Mario Golf game on the Switch, Mario Golf Super Rush. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. This is music from Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. The main menu music, I think that came out this week or something, so... Yeah, Lethal Migraine's talking about the weather in Seattle. Unseasonably hot is the best way to put it. He says most residents don't have air conditioning since it never gets that hot. It's 95 today. Tomorrow's supposed to be 101. Monday is forecast to be 108. Now, it ain't a humidity heat.
They don't say. Is it going to be? Is it southern heat or that desert heat?
It's whatever heat they got up in the Pacific Northwest, which is not humidity at all that I know of. Mm-hmm. I've never really been there when it's actually something like that. There's been a few trips to Seattle I've made where the weather was not in my favor, and I don't mean the rain. The rain's fine. Mm-hmm. But the cold temperatures were not in my favor. It was more like in the 80s and stuff, and that was not what I expect from Seattle weather. Kind of a, yeah, but, luck of the draw or that sort of thing. Speaking of, we're going to talk about Seattle coming up in a bit here. Let's talk to Chris. Hey, Chris.
What's going on?
Not much. What are you, what's up with you? What's going on?
I picked up a new copy of Scarlet Nexus, and I just played it about 30 minutes or so, but so far I enjoyed the little demo and the little thing that, is teaching you how to play the game, the little intro mission.
The tutorial?
Yeah, the tutorial and all. Yeah.
I mean, we've got music for that game coming up today because I know it came out this week. I don't know what that game's about. I don't know anything about it other than
I really don't know either, but supposedly it's like an action-adventure combo role-playing game, from what I've heard. I watched, a quick review by somebody, and I said, oh, yeah, thing's out already? I didn't get a call about it, but, I was thinking that GameStop, had robots, that computers that would give you a call and let you know, but it's always been done by humans, but, they didn't have to get a chance to give me a call and let me know it was in, but... And I'd forgot about it coming out yesterday.
That's a Japanese RPG, so I'm going to pass.
Yeah, just watch some video of it and then make up your mind if you want to change your mind.
I will do that, actually. I will watch a video. I like, this looks, I'm getting, what's the vibe I'm getting here?
Code Vein?
No, not Code Vein, because that's not a game I would have played. It's the one where she Gravity Rush. I'm just in the images that I'm looking at here. I'm getting a Gravity Rush vibe.
And from what I've read and seen so far, there's two main characters, and to get the whole story, you have to play both of them to get the whole perspective of what's kind of going on in the game and all. And then there is a new Game Plus feature where if you go through as one person and then do the other person's story, you get their strength or whatever, or their levels, or something like that makes it a whole lot easier, where you're a whole lot more powerful than what you would normally be. But from what I've seen, the guy is a sword fighter up close and personal, and I think the lady uses throwing stars or as the range character. So I decided to pick the guy to see where it's going. But yeah, it's cool, and like the little special powers that they have that they fight with is like telekinesis or things. They pick up objects, cars, trucks, signposts, or things like that. And it slings them at the enemy. You can use the environment when you're fighting the enemies and stuff.
Yeah, that's where I'll take a look at the review on that just to check it out and see. So far, it doesn't look like it's going to be something that's. It doesn't look like it's my type, but I'm only looking at images here. I haven't watched any video of it to see how it plays or any kind of gameplay, so I don't want to pass judgment yet. But I will take a look at it just for the fact that, if a game's getting some talk, which this game was, and I don't necessarily know if it's getting talk because it's great or if it's getting talk because there's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing new out there as far as a game, and this is what they've latched on.
Yeah.
So I'll check that out and see if it's something I would be interested in.
But I've also saw some stuff here recently, somewhere about a review or about the new Dungeons and Dragons, the Dark Alliance that they redid, and a lot of people are giving it flack, and then it's being a big letdown compared to what the franchise is known for and stuff. And it seems like people are disappointed in that one. And of course they asked me, "Do you want to reserve this one?" I said, "I don't know about that one," and I may put it off. I may even decide to delve into it, but they're giving it some flack supposedly.
Well, I'll take a look and I'll check it out and see. But again, I don't hold out hope that it's gonna hook me, because it does not look like my. You know what I do, and so that's
you play Destiny too.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Or I play something that's kind of just like Cozy Grove or Spiritfarer or Animal Crossing, or I don't dip into those JRPGs, man. I tried.
They take a bucket and a half of your time.
I mean, yeah. What I really want to get back into is Ghost of Tsushima. RJ, give me the thumbs up. I really want to get back into that, because I kind of let that sit, and there's a lot from the holidays that I kind of let sit on the shelf there that I'd like to get back into. I finished up the Miles Morales thing, and then dived back into Destiny for the longest time. I tried the medium for a little while, and I just deleted that off my Xbox yesterday to make some room. So
you were saying it was a Japanese RPG?
It is. Well, that's what it said in the review I was looking at, was that it's a JRPG.
It looks like an action RPG. When you say JRPG, I'm thinking Final Fantasy, wait your turn to attack. No,
I wasn't watching video. I was looking at a review, and the subtitle of it was Bandai Namco's JRPG, blah, 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 and I said, oh, it's a JRPG.
Yeah, well, I was looking at the video. It looks like a action RPG, not the JRPG.
Yeah, it's an action-oriented, hack and slash 3D environment role playing game.
That's why I was saying Code Vein, because that looks like hack and slash Japanese style.
Well, I'll take a look at it and see see if that's something that's.
But it's from what I've seen, it's heavily influenced by anime cutscenes, and there's a lot of talks, scenes where they have the character cards, and their spoken languages talking with each other, and then there's actual full movie scenes that are supposedly spectacular and stuff, for what they've gave them good reviews, but on some of the different titles here and there, people have complained about not having not too much story, and it's more only action and adventure and stuff. But supposedly they've said that this story is very, very well developed, and it's fairly balanced, and and you get good on both sides of the story and gameplay. Okay. So I'll see. Like I said, I've only played the tutorial, and I haven't done nothing except step outside the main building, where I took the tutorial at. So no idea what's going to happen or come down the road, but so far I like the play sequences and the battle scenes and stuff.
I'm gonna, while you were talking about that, I was looking around, and I couldn't find I want to, and maybe this already exists somewhere, but I was like, I'm going to build a website, and I'm going to make a couple of them. One called "Is it on Netflix? Is it on Game Pass?" Just, is it on GamePass.com? Is it on Netflix.com? You just go there, type in what you're looking for, and see if it's there. That's it. And see if it is on Netflix or on Game Pass or something like that. That's what I would like to do, is find, something that is one website. You go to it, you type in your game, boom, it'll tell you where it's at. Is it on Game Pass or is it not? No. And then under it, it'll say, but it is on PlayStation Plus or Epic Game Store or something like that, where you can find it to play it. Yeah. I'm throwing that out there because I'm hoping somebody else will make it, but because I don't know how.
He's trying to speak it into existence.
But now, yeah, exactly.
If it doesn't already, because that sounds like something that would be
exactly. That's why. That's why I did a search, because I was like, surely somebody has come up with this. Nope. So, well, Chris, thanks for the call, man. It's good hearing from you, and we're about to hit another break here. So, thanks for calling in, and take care.
Are you looking forward to that new Metroid coming down the road?
Way in October, I am. Yes, it is not necessarily like I'm not frothing at the moment, because it's just too far down the road for me to really be excited about. I'll be excited when October comes, and then I can go and pick it up and actually play. But up until then, I'm just looking at seeing what's coming up next and seeing if there's something that I'm missing as far as some little indie gems here and there that I'd like to pick. There was one, and it came out on Switch this week. It's actually been on PC for a while, and we've got music for it as well, but it's called Lego Builder's Journey.
Huh.
And apparently, it's a very Zen-like Lego building experience. And you can do it on the Switch, or you can do it on your PC. I think the PC has a little bit of a better graphics enhancement, obviously. Ray tracing and stuff like that, if you need that for what this is, but yeah, I'm curiously looking into that because I think it would scratch an itch for me. So.
Oh yeah, speaking of games, I've got one dirt cheap on the Switch the other day called Debts. It's like a side-scrolling role-playing adventure game and everything. But yeah, look, $2. Yeah, I'll give it a try, and I've got hooked on that.
What's it called again?
Debt, DEX.
D-E-
I think it's 2 or 3 years old. I think.
DEX.
Yeah, DEX.
Dex Switch.
Basically, you're a hacker. You can hack into different terminals and everything. You can shoot fire guns and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of like what you would say is similar to some of the classic side-scrolling adventure games like Flashback and things of that nature like that. You go here and here and do puzzle solving and story progression and things like that. But it looked interesting. I looked at the pictures and everything. And I said, oh, it's a role-playing game, too, and I love those type of games. Yeah, I'll give it a try for $2. No, that's worth that.
Came out in July of last year, and it is currently on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. It's also out. It's also on the Vita. You don't get a lot of Vita games, by the way.
That's odd.
Well, we got to take a break, Chris. Thanks so much for calling, man.
All right, y'all have a good afternoon.
You take care.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
Before we hit that break, I just wanted to bring up what Lethal Migraine had said earlier in the show. He said, let's talk about how horrible the video game industry is. He used a different word. Like Activision letting go of hundreds of employees over the last couple of years, yet the board gave Bobby Kotick, their CEO or whatever, a $134 million bonus. That came up plenty of times. I saw it. They do it every year. Every single year, Bobby gets his bonus. Every single year. Regardless of what's going on, he gets a bonus of some sort. And it's just always going to happen. It's something that is just... until he leaves, then he will... And even when he leaves, he's not going to stop getting that money, man. So, yeah, I know it's horrible. I saw where Activision just won a lawsuit anyway. I say they won a lawsuit, but they were being sued, and so they won. I don't know if that means they're getting payment out of it, or if they're just, they're free from having to pay somebody else, or whatever the case may be. But it's something that's not going to stop. That cycle is just going to continue, man.
It sounds
that's how
horrible.
it goes.
It sounds horrible, but it's typical.
Yeah, and you may read about other game companies where their boss says, "No, we're not going to do my bonus. We're going to give that to the employees, or we're not going to do any bonus." That's fine. Activision's never going to be one of those companies. It really, really never is that I know of. Not from that guy. That guy does not look like a guy who is going to suddenly turn down a bonus or flip everything around and say, "No, I'm going to give it all to my employees," or something like that. It just ain't him. That ain't Activision. That ain't him. And it's just going to continue to happen. I mean, I hate to say that, I hate to sound so cynical about it, but that's what's been happening for years, and it's going to continue to do so. It just really is. So you can't change it. I'd like to say that we could, but it's not going to stop until, they screw up somehow, or whatever the case may be. They go bankrupt, or they have money problems. Even if they do have money problems, I still see him getting a bonus. because that's how absurd it is. Mm-hmm. Well, we're sinking ship. Let's give him some more money.
No money at the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, no. But you've seen it in other companies before.
Yeah, this is not something limited to the video game industry. It's business. Business is business. I mean, if he's got if he satisfies his contractual obligations, no matter what the company's going through or what their public image is, pay the man.
So it's not. Yeah, it's not that I didn't want to talk about it or anything, but it's the same thing that we talked about the last time it happened, the year before that when it happened. The year before that when it happened, because I know we brought it up at least once, and then it's just like, oh, it's that time of year again where Bobby gets his bonus, and somebody's got to pay the price for it. So yeah, I don't know when the last time I bought an Activision anything. Obviously, after Destiny, split from there, that would have been the last time I put any money into it. But with Destiny, I was only buying the game and the expansions. I wasn't actually throwing them any more money more than I had to, because I don't do that. But it's just what's going to happen. We got to take a break. When we come back, we'll finish up what we started from last week, because we still haven't done that. We got music here from Chivalry 2. track on this one's called Relics of the Great War. We will be right back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here, which you'll eventually pick up. I just don't know that we're going to be... I don't know that we'll get to that part. This is from Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance.
When you say pick up, you mean...
It'd be more than just what you're hearing right now. Like some instruments.
Okay. I thought you say some pick up to some epic explosion.
Yeah, it might. I don't know. I want to say there was vocals in this thing, from what I remember. But anyway.
Suddenly death metal.
Yeah, right. You never know. So where we left off, oh really? Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance needed more time in the oven, huh? Where we left off last week, we talked about Nintendo, we talked about Microsoft, but what I didn't get to, and what was one of the more interesting things for me, was all the analysis of E3. I'm just going to run down the headlines here, just to give you an idea. The first one says all digital E3 was a mess. The next headline: E3 2021 was better than we could have expected. The next one: when a disappointing E3 is a good problem to have. Yeah, just it was back and forth. It's bad, it's good, it's bad, it's good. So
there's a bunch of different opinions there.
It is, and I'm curious as to what the differences are, to be honest with you. I will go over the no-shows, because there was a lot of no-shows, and maybe we talked about this on the thing. We talked about, yeah, we did. We talked about the no-shows. Yeah. Yep, we already did that. So I don't have to talk about this.
Someone who did show up but didn't give us anything.
This comes from Kotaku that says, and it's Nathan Grayson doing the article, says this year's E3 was certainly different, but different doesn't always mean better. This was a podcast that they did, and now there's a whole script on this whole thing. This guy says we don't need E3 at all. Let's start with that. E3 is completely unnecessary. The whole industry is worse off for it. And if it would only die, that would be a good thing. I have this horrible feeling that this year's online version has made everyone take notice of it again. I have a feeling it's going to come back in a reduced state. That's a good question, because I feel that way. I feel like we don't need it at all. But I also don't.
It's like E3. Well, just from my perspective, E3. I really don't have a desire to watch an entire watch E3. Just give me the highlights, the cliff notes, or if there's a certain company I'm interested in. Usually, any company worth their salt, they put their own thing out there, and they don't need an E3 for it. They'll just put their, like Sony's State of Play, just put their little event on there and do something like that.
I mean, we've talked about this. We've gone over the analytics of it, and I wish after watching Microsoft, and at times Sony's done the same thing. I wish more game companies would follow suit in that, where it's like, we don't need somebody on stage. We just need to show what we've got, not talk to. You feel like you're watching a home shopping channel sometimes.
You have, I think, from the way you described it, you had this feeling of like you see something come up on stage, and the first thing out your mouth is like, "Why are you here? what are you doing here?"
Mostly it is that. Mostly it is. Why is there a human being in my video games here, or why is there this person talking to me and not showing me a game? Yeah. I get if you want to set up what's coming up. I understand if you want to talk to us about the game. Here's what you're going to see, but you don't even actually need that, to be honest with you, because they show. How many countless trailers have you seen where you haven't had an introduction to it? It's just been a surprise. Here it is. There you go. Let them all be that way. Lethal Migrant says the only E3 thing that I watched was the Xbox stuff, and while I like that bunch of games that are coming this year, most of them aren't something I have any interest in. That's fine, man. I agree. If it's not a lot that you're interested in, then what good is it? But the way they presented it to you is the way that I wish more companies would follow, which is just here, games. There you go. Yeah. If you're going to talk to me, make it brief. I mean, there was not a person who was talking to you on screen for I think more than 30 or 45 seconds, a minute tops, and that was it. Mm-hmm. And so then it was just nothing but more games. That's fine. That's what I like. We don't need it branded as E3. You don't. Yeah, I agree. You don't need what E3 is. Having it kind of under that umbrella is perfectly fine. To where everybody does their stuff in the same time, but I don't necessarily know that that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Spread your stuff out. Yeah. We talked about how bad it was last year when everybody was doing one here, one here, one here. That was a little bit. I didn't like the way that was. I kind of like it when it was back to back to back, but. That also means it's kind of like the way I lived my life years previous, which is I'm going to buy this half-gallon ice cream and I'm going to eat it right now, all of it, and which is exactly what they did. In an entire weekend, you got all of that stuff done. Mm. Spread it out. Yeah, you don't have to do it all in a weekend, man. You don't have to do it all there.
Yeah, less brain freezes that way.
Throw us some stuff. Xbox could do one a month, and I think Sony tried to do this, but you could do one a month, man, and really fill out the year. I think Nintendo may have tried to do this too. Just do one a month for maybe 30 or 45 minutes if you got enough, and show off some stuff. Or
I want to say once a quarter.
Or give more time to gameplay of these things, rather than throwing that off. So yeah, Forza has never failed to look amazing in whatever they show. It's always looked good, whether it be Horizon or Motorsport. The sim versus the arcade. Regardless, they have all looked just amazing. So I'll hand them that. Now this opinion comes from PC Gamer, and he says the whole period exceeded my expectations. First, there was the sheer quantity of games announced. Some people thought there were, in fact, too many, but for me, that's always been the great pleasure of E3, the feeling of being utterly blitzed from the number of new announcements and games you never knew existed. That's great, but unless you're sitting there taking notes, do you remember at the end of a presentation the second, the third, or the fourth game that you saw in that list, if you've already been watching for 90 minutes, which is how long Xbox's was, or Microsoft's was?
We're liking it to those previews of movies you see before you see the main attraction, right? Some of those promos you ain't going to remember because it didn't interest you.
This guy lists. He says Stalker 2, Elden Ring, and Starfield. Lists 3 of those, and then he moves into says that those were some big ones. Then he says the AAA games that previously looked a little shaky turned up reinvigorated. Halo Infinite's multiplayer looks like a return to form. For that, that's multiplayer, and hopefully the whole thing looks good too. Big projects. See, this is how about Platinum Games or Eidos Montreal's excellent-looking Guardians of the Galaxy? Guardians of the Galaxy did not look excellent to me. Mentioned Somerville, which is the that guy that made Inside and Limbo.
Limbo. Okay.
Yeah, one of the 2 people who worked on those games from Play Dead. So yeah, he's excited about stuff that didn't excite me, and I guess that's how that works. That's how E3 works. There's enough out there where it's going to pull some people, and it's going to pull. You're going to love some of this stuff. You're going to not like some of this stuff, but the stuff that you don't like means there's probably couple 100,000 people who loved what they saw, or a million. And so, I get that they can't all be winners, and that's perfectly fine. Do you? I don't know if I prefer it this way or I prefer that whole live stage presence. I would say I prefer it this way. A live stage presence means you have an audience. Means you're probably going to have more talking.
Playing to the crowd, anyway.
Yeah. You're probably going to have more people talking to the audience.
Yeah.
I will. Oh, man. One of the things that I didn't think about, but that I really, really enjoyed, maybe it's a double-edged sword, no audience reaction.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Remember when we used to watch this stuff and you'd hear crowd noise and stuff like that, and they'd be cheering on a game or something?
Yeah, or you'd get the Q&A with the producers, and you get some really live questions.
Sometimes sometimes I enjoy it because I've been in that audience before.
Yeah.
The last audience that I was in, actually, was one of the better ones to see, because that was the last audience I was in was when they showed off The Last Guardian.
Was that at PAX?
No, that was an E3.
E3, okay.
Yeah. That was at E3 for Sony.
Okay.
That was when they announced their PlayStation 4, and they announced that, Last Guardian was coming out. And this was...
There it is.
You know what that was? It was... train of thought. Not PAX, E3. There was a lot of, screaming and hollering and yelling, and things were great because this thing that they wanted was finally getting released, and they finally saw this thing, and it was great to hear that.
Yeah, a bunch of crowd excitement, yeah.
Right. But to be involved in that is great. If you're sitting from home, I don't know that that's so good.
If you're sitting there from home, I wouldn't think about it.
Maybe.
Wouldn't think about it.
A lot of the times, though, I would, though, because when stuff was coming up on screen and people would scream at it, I'm like, well, this is... No. I can't remember.
I don't share your excitement.
Okay. I know. I would love to find an example, but I can't. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Like what, of a crowd reaction you're not into?
Yeah, where it's like, no, it probably, because they would put plants in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Microsoft did their big reveal for TV, right? This was before E3. This was a pre-E3 thing that they did. And I don't think I was there or was I? I don't think I was there. I'm not sure if I was there or not for that one. I know I wasn't for the TV thing, but I may have been at the E3 thing. But I remember when... Yeah, exactly. The Keanu Reeves coming out on stage. It's great when it's live like that. But then again...
I was there when the happened aspect of it, yeah.
See, I was there when Usher came out on stage, and that was horrible. Because he came out on stage to do a Just Dance routine. And seeing that live was annoying. Probably seeing that in game mode would be annoying anyway, because Just Dance.
Because you weren't a fan of the Just Dance franchise, were you?
Well, it was. Yeah, I was sitting there watching people just dance on the stage. This is not a video game. Mm-hmm. You're dancing on stage to promote a video game.
Yeah, promote a game. How did you feel about the Just Dance franchise as a whole?
I mean, I don't play it, but that doesn't mean that there's not a bunch of people who do or who don't or whatever. So it's fine, but putting people on now, I don't know what you guys were seeing at home, but sitting on stage, you have the live aspect of everybody on stage, and then you have whatever's on the big screens, and you've got to focus your attention on whatever you want to focus your attention on. I don't know what they were showing on screen at that time, but it was just...
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that you were looking at a promotion of a franchise you really had no care or feeling about.
That happens a lot, though.
Yeah, but...
That happens a lot at E3. You get a lot of that stuff. And so if it draws a nice little crowd reaction, then I'm happy for those people. But going back to the thing where Microsoft was talking about the Xbox One, but only as a home media center capacity type thing, not as a game system like they do at E3. Yeah. There were journalists there, and I remember people were clapping and applauding and screaming and yelling when they were talking about how this interacts with your TV and everything else. And I remember some journalists, and I can't remember who it was, but I remember some journalists sending out some tweets or something saying like, nobody in our section is doing any of that yelling that you're hearing. That is all in a completely different section, like a friends and family thing. It's all in a completely different section where all of that excitement is coming from.
Was that excitement in quotes?
I don't remember. It was. I'm sort of just paraphrasing what it was, but he was just saying that it ain't us.
Yeah.
You know, it's other people, which most assuredly was probably just either people who worked on it and were glad to see the fruits of their labor being shown off, which is another thing, or plants, of course.
I'm thinking plants.
Yeah. So yeah, you get that from time to time. It was kind of nice. That's why it's a double edge. You know, if it's great, kind of builds with that.
Mm-hmm.
It was like when we were watching UFC. We still got to see UFC, but it was completely in an empty arena type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they got the crowds back in there, it's like, oh, that's good. It's better with the crowds.
Yeah.
I don't know about E3 so much, but yeah. I have so many of these articles here. Everything you need to know about E3. E3 is no longer a clear lens on the industry. That's another article, little opinion piece. 15 indie game trailers from E3. The most exciting games of E3. Ubisoft's E3 no-shows were as loud as the reveals, and they talk about the Splinter Cell and a couple of others that were involved in that, Beyond Good and Evil, not showing up as well. So no Assassin's Creed other than more DLC, which is kind of nice. Looking through this article from GameIndustry.biz, written by Rob Fahey, E3 is no longer a clear lens on the industry. This year showed it a good job of focusing on participants, but underlying changes mean its central role is a thing of the past. There's a strong sense that even companies who participate in E3 haven't shown their full hands. Does anyone really think that we've seen a full Christmas 2021 lineup? I don't know. The window between announcement and launch has become a very flexible one, with some games in players' hands within a few months of being revealed. Yeah. Now, when we watch these things, we always hope that they're going to say, oh, it's available today. When I was watching the Windows thing for Windows 11 on Tuesday, you expected them kind of at the end to say, and it's available now, and just flip that switch. They haven't done it, obviously. It's I think, early of 2022 is when Windows 11 will hit, but yeah, so we'll see. Are we sort of at the moment? Nope, we can go over some more stuff. Let's see. Xbox needs more Snoop Dogg. I wonder how much that Xbox mini fridge is going. Probably like $200 more than a regular one. I'll buy it, but won't be happy that I paid whatever it is. Yeah. You sound like me with that Destiny toaster. I didn't buy that, by the way, and I'm not gonna.
He says that, but
it ain't happening. Trust me. I got a perfectly good toaster at the house.
And a replacement would be like maybe 15, 20
and whatever
bucks.
that thing is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
First off, the toaster at the house can do more than just toast. If you want it to toast, you can toast, but you can do a bunch of other stuff with it as well. That one toaster, though, yeah. So yeah, it's not happening. What else do we have? This is from last week because there was so much that we didn't get to. It looks like we're getting a remastered version of Alan Wake on the Epic Game Store. Did you ever play that?
No, Alan Wake. Just another one of those titles. I've got it, but haven't played it. I think I got it from. I think it was gifted to me from on Steam, so it's available to play. I just haven't got around to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it's a great game. Great game. So I'm glad that they're.
I've been told many times that Alan Wake is a very very good game.
It is. I kind of look forward to a remaster. I just wish it wasn't coming to the Epic Game Store. I wish you could get it or get the upgrade to it if you already own the game or something. I'd really like to do that. No, Matt hasn't stolen it. It's downstairs somewhere. It may actually be thrown away because we had it for a long time, and then I think it broke or something. But yeah, we had the same thing. Lethal Migraine said that he has a Darth Vader helmet toaster that burns Star Wars into the bread, and I was telling him that we had that same toaster for years here at the station, downstairs in the kitchen. You remember seeing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had to gift one of those things at a friend of mine's wedding.
I don't know where it is now. I think I remember where the box is, but I don't think it's up there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It might still be on that counter over there. What else do we have? I liked so Warner Brothers is doing a thing with Back 4 Blood, that Left 4 Dead clone looking thing.
Yeah.
Basically, the way it is, if the party leader owns the DLC, then everybody in the party gets to play the DLC without having owned it.
Okay.
So if you're in a party and the leader doesn't have the DLC, but somebody else does, they just shift
Swap
party
leaders.
control
Yeah.
over, and then
Yeah.
everybody can play it. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Makes sense if you're going to be playing a 4-player co-op game and only one of you has the DLC. That would kind of, I don't know. It's a good idea. I like that they did it, and I wish more games would. Not necessarily in a co-op type thing with one or two, but if it's gotten more than that, yeah, I could totally. It should be for all of it, but I totally understand. Ooh, yeah. Taxis59 says Wake's Publishers is 505, and they have done numerous scummy things. But were they the publishers at the time of Alan Wake? Was that a 505 game at the time? I can't remember. Maybe they are now. But I can't remember. 505. I used to talk to a lot of people who worked at 505. I don't think that they still work there anymore. 505 was kind of up and coming when I was heavily talking to them. I would talk to them more than almost any other publisher back when I was going to E3 and stuff. And they were on the small end, and then they got rather large. Yeah, I want to say the original Alan Wake was published by Microsoft because I want to say it was a Microsoft exclusive at the time. But
I'm looking at the list of 505 games that they've published, and Alan Wake ain't doesn't look like it's in there.
Yeah, Alan Wake may have made it over there eventually, but I'm not sure on that one. So anyway, we got to take a break. When we come back, we will cover more of what's been going on this week, as well as a few things from last week as well, or the past 2 weeks is what I'm talking about. Here is music from a game called Stonefly. That's one word, not two. I made it sound like two when I said it, but it's actually one word. Stonefly. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from Scarlet Nexus. It's called Training Facility, which maybe that's what Chris was playing, the tutorial area. But yeah, that is Scarlet Nexus. Can you check Quantum Break for me and see if that publisher was 505 as well?
Quantum Break.
Or if that had a 505? Lethal Migraine makes a point. They said that Alan Wake was published by Remedy and Microsoft, which is exactly what I thought it was. And then Lethal Migraine says, I'm mildly surprised Remedy hasn't been purchased by Xbox. They've been pretty tight with since Alan Wake. They have. And they had that whole Quantum Break thing, which feels like that was it's like Microsoft rented the company and said, make this game for us and just us.
Developed by Remedy, published by Microsoft Studios.
Yeah.
Quantum Break, yeah.
So yeah, that does seem like, but then Control came out, and that was not. Control was published by 505.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost positive on that one. Control is published by 505. You checking it out now?
I'm checking it out now. Trying to Remedy developed, published by 505.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Tactus, he says Alan Wake's publishers is 505. I don't necessarily know. I think 505 just published Control. I don't know that they are in any other publishing agreement. It seems like it's just, whoever's going to pony up the money for us to make our next game will be the publishers for it. And Microsoft seems to do that more than anybody else. Yeah, Crossfire X, Remedy is making that game. I remember that. Yeah, we did. That was something from, I think, last year's E3, and we didn't hear anything about it this year.
Let's see.
Good little reminder there. I forgot that they were working on that.
I was looking at, let's see, the games published by 505 include Sniper Elite 3, Payday 2, Assetto Corsa, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, Terraria, Redout, How to Survive, Defense Grid 2, Deep Black, Abzu, Adrift, Virginia, Dead by Daylight, Control, Unturned.
And this is 505?
Yeah, this is 505. Control,
Again, some of those could be just published on PC or just on console.
Yeah.
They could have
and
a different
and the PC
publisher.
release of Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, 505 was involved in that.
PC release.
Oh, it's interesting because, no, it's not. It's not just a Sony game. It's a multiplayer or multi-platform. So I was thinking something like Days Gone or Horizon. I guess that's Sony published on PC, probably. So, excuse me. Moving on. What else was there? Oh, Netflix had something called Geeked Week just before E3. And it was basically shows that are based on video games. An animated series based on Arcane from League of Legends. I think we knew about that, though. The Cuphead show, or Cuphead the show, which looks great. Cuphead looks great. A new series for Castlevania, which we knew about. Splinter Cell, the animated series. It's,
Not the game, though. We understand.
I'm glad we're getting something. Hopefully this spurns interest, I
think the interest is always there. They just don't want to make the
game. It
game.
is, but I'm hoping this shows Ubisoft that, and maybe they are working on something. It'd be nice for them to let us know that they are. That's the thing. They haven't dropped anything. They haven't said, oh, by the way, we know you talk about this. We know it's memed at this point, but we are actually working on the Splinter Cell game. Just say that. We don't have anything to show you, we don't have anything to say, but I just want you guys to know we are actually working on one. We haven't forgotten about it.
With Fisher, right?
Yeah, with Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Just the franchise, use it. I don't necessarily need Fisher to come back. You could make it somebody else if that's the case. Just give me more Splinter Cell. I understand Splinter Cell's like Sam Fisher, and you could continue to do that, but if for some reason you don't want to, that's fine. Witcher Season 2, we're talking about that. We don't actually know when that's going to come out. WitcherCon is coming up on the 9th of July, so not this coming week, but week after next, yeah. Live action Resident Evil. The Far Cry cartoon, Captain Laserhawk. Another Far Cry cartoon as well. So 2 Far Cry animated series, a live-action Resident Evil series, Witcher Season 2, animated Splinter Cell, Castlevania, Cuphead, and Arcane.
Did they mention what the Resident Evil was based on? What game in the series, or is it something just...
something kind of sits outside of that? I just had it open here. Let me tell you who or what it is. Lance Riddick was announced as the actor playing Albert Wesker in the upcoming live-action Resident Evil series. Riddick may be best known for his roles in the John Wick series and The Wire, but of course he's also the voice of Zavala in Destiny 2.
And he's playing as Wesker.
Yes. More cast members were announced. They're not attached to specific roles, and there are some details about the plot, which will follow Wesker's children across 2 timelines. So it looks like it's sitting outside of the continuity, maybe. Or taking bits of continuity and then making their own thing out of it. So I'm not up to snuff on Resident Evil continuity. Yeah, there is also an animated Resident Evil as well. So yeah, 2 Resident Evil shows, animated live action, 2 Far Cry shows, both animated, a Splinter Cell, a Cuphead, Arcane, Castlevania, all animated from Netflix. And then we got Witcher as well, Witcher Season 2. What happened this week? Oh, I love this, and I put these together intentionally. GameIndustry.biz apparently talked to Sony, and Sony said, we support and encourage crossplay. And said that the number will continue to grow for amount of games that we will support with crossplay. The next headline, Borderlands 3 has crossplay, but not on PlayStation. We kind of knew this was coming, though. I don't know when they implemented this, but we knew ahead of time that the crossplay for Borderlands 3 was not going to happen for PlayStation users. They explained the exclusion in May, but the crash course version is that Sony demands a piece of the action. They actually want money from any successful crossplay game that it allows on its platform. It wants a cut. Borderlands publisher 2K apparently didn't feel like paying, and so that's that. Unless and until one side or the other relents, which seems unlikely, PlayStation players won't be able to connect with their non-PS pals. Which is, if that is the case, and let me look and see if this article mentions that. Sony is moving to government. That's according to Jim Ryan. We support that. Rocket League, Fortnite, Minecraft, Call of Duty, and then upcoming titles like Destiny 2. Ryan also assured the number will continue to grow. Another example of Sony's historic crossplay, with Gearbox. Sony also initially blocked crossplay for Rocket League and Minecraft, but eventually relented following a comprehensive evaluation process. I don't know. What else do we have here? Ghost of Tsushima is dropping the only on PlayStation badge on their boxes. Somebody got caught wind of new box art for Ghost, and it didn't have the only on PlayStation thing. Okay. It is a PlayStation exclusive, but a lot of people think it may be moving over to PC. It probably, like this article says, probably means nothing at all. But there's also a possibility, given what we've seen, Horizon Zero Dawn, Days Gone, Uncharted 4 getting announced for release. Still need to go back to the Uncharted series. But yeah, it's a possibility. Oh yeah, Marvel Avengers got an update this week that revealed everybody's IP address. In other words, a number would appear either on screen or above your head or something like that, and it was your IP. It was a long string, and it was your IP address.
And how exactly
it got updated where they took it out? But that was ridiculous.
And how long was people's IP addresses just going out there for public view?
Yeah, exposing everyone's IP address is an added bonus that surely delighted streamers everywhere, because when you were streaming, your IP address would be right there, so plenty of people could see it. The information bounces around the screen at random, so it's not like it can be covered up with a clever overlay. Your IP address is a unique number that identifies a device's location on the internet. If someone gets a hold of your IP address, they can, for one, use it to determine your approximate location. It can also be used to initiate cyber attacks against your devices or to misdirect authorities by making it look like illegal activity originated from your device. Basically, you don't want your IP address showing up on screen or being available publicly for anybody to see. They finally updated a patch for it the next day. Not the same day. They initiated a patch the next day.
No matter when that patch came out, it's too late.
Yeah. So that was fun. I mean, it's already a game that's basically taken a beating, you know?
Yeah.
This game has been kicked, taken a beating. It's not a good game. The player base, I think, is lowered massively. They're still putting out stuff for it, but it's really, really dropped. And then stuff like this happens, which just doesn't help their cause at all.
Is this nail in the coffin?
No,
I
don't think so. It's too big an IP, and probably put in a lot of work. I think it's got better chances than Anthem, obviously. Just again because of the IP, the intellectual property of dealing with the Avengers. Anthem was nothing, but it's the Avengers. Yeah, I sent a message to James when this happened, and I was like, man, this is a game. Like I said, it's already just it's not good, and it's not been doing good, but. This was like getting handed like a golden goose, you know? It's like, here, you have the Avengers IP. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to make with it? Well, this is what we're going to do, and kind of set it up. And they wanted to set it up to be a long-term games as service type thing, where people will continue to play it, will continue to give it updates, so people continue to play more stuff, and will make content so that people can spend money in the in-game store, whatever, to buy things. And yeah, the Wakanda expansion might help it. That might be a little too late type of thing. I'm not sure. But this is something that should have been very easy.
Should have. Keyword, should have.
It's like when you're getting the Star Wars franchise, and EA did what they could with that and did very well with what they could with that. It's like being handed, well, Marvel Comics, for God's sake. It's here. You've got the Avengers. The movies are already out. The movies have done what they've done. You're basing everything kind of on that build of the film, of the cinematic universe.
You got a ton of source material to work with.
Yeah, and you're golden here. You can only lose. I mean, this is it. You're going to win whatever you do. And they lost, I think.
This would be a good time for Gotham City Imposters to come back.
Be a good time for any kind of a superhero game to come into, and maybe I'm missing some right now, but any kind of I could really, honestly, I could have really gone for a Batman game about 2 years ago, or a year ago.
Got an update from Migrant. Lee said on Steam there are currently a little over 1,000 people playing.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Obviously, we can't see the console numbers, or maybe we can. I don't know, but it's not that great. Thar 66. Hey, let me do a rundown of who's in the chat room here, because we got a lot. Somebody named 2020. That's good to see again. Academy Impossible, AC Wraith, another TV viewer, A10, Commander Root, Evans 04111. Feet is in the chat room. Lethal Migraine, Mikuru X. He capitalized the X, and I know it's separate. Stephen Van Dam, STM Fuller. Otherwise, I want to.
And he had Tsushima down so good.
Oh, stop it. STM Fuller, Tactus 59. You sound like her. Thar 66 and the Wendigo, hanging out in the chat room. Thank you guys so much, by the way. PAX West is going live this year. By that I mean they are going to do a PAX West. The Seattle thing that I would always go to, they are doing one this year. They did not do one last year, but they are doing one this year. Tickets go on sale, I think, within the next 2 weeks for this, or badges go on sale within the next 2 weeks. I gave it thought when I got the press release about it. I gave it thought, and I said, I'm not going this year. They are going to have reduced capacity. Ticket prices don't seem to reflect that, actually. It looks like they're unchanged. Maybe it looks maybe a little bit lower. I'm not sure. But regardless, I gave it thought because I do miss it. I miss going to Seattle. I miss, the PAX thing. I miss it. But I got through a year without it going. I can get through another year without going. Just to be safe. First off, I've got at least a 6-hour plane ride from here to there.
That's a 2-plane swap, right?
Yeah, while wearing a mask. Which it's not that I'm against wearing masks. I am against it for 6 hours straight. Not looking forward to that. But there's that, and then there's getting into Seattle. Seattle's fine itself, but the crowds that are going to be there, and not knowing what anybody has or what anybody's done, or there's just no way they're going to be able to enforce so much. They're talking about taking your temperature when you walk in. I don't have to deal with that. That's just going to be a long line just to get in. That's
a lot of people.
Yeah, even if I go as media, it's going to be a long line to go in there. So it's just not something that I'm going to that I want to put myself through. I don't want to put Wendy through it either. It'd be her first time going to one of these, or even going to Seattle and stuff. Yeah. And I would rather her kind of experience it not that way. Now, I don't know if it's, who knows what'll happen next year. Hopefully everything will be kind of back to normal, but yeah, the article here comes from Kotaku and says, it's not a good idea. It'll take place over Labor Day weekend, September 3rd through the 6th. Tickets go on sale this week, $230 for the whole 4-day weekend or $60 for individual day passes. As recently as December 2020, PAX organizers Reed Pop and Penny Arcade were optimistic about a 2021 PAX schedule. PAX East would take place in early June, West in September, Unplugged in the middle of December, all provided the pandemic abated or at least eased to manageable levels. That plan was sketched out as a second wave of the pandemic spurred by holiday travel and loosened social distancing regulations embroiled the United States. Between then and now, around 300,000 Americans have died as a result of COVID-19. In March, PAX organizers canceled PAX East, citing extremely reasonable health and safety concerns. For perspective, had plans proceeded apace, PAX East would have occurred 3 weeks ago. It was replaced with an all-digital PAX Online that happens next month. Our organizers remained optimistic that a September PAX West could still happen. That optimism, at least per health regulations, appears to have not been in vain. This author of this article says he can't shake the sense that it's just a beat too early to congregate by the thousands in a cramped, sweaty convention hall. He says, to be sure, in the United States, we're on the up and up. Vaccinations are up. Everything's good. Even without vaccinations, evidence suggests that our collective understanding about how COVID works and how to manage it has dramatically reduced the death rate compared to the disease worst periods. We're still in the dark about some key variables. And it goes on to talk about this. And basically, the pros and cons, the cons just built up too high over the pros as far as, and it was a lot of might, could, maybe, possibly, this sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And when you get through that, it's like, well, that sounds like that's too many maybes, possibly, could have, perhaps, sort of, we don't know. That's too many uncertain variables to really warrant that sort of thing. When you can just wait and be fine, probably the next year. I don't be 100% about it, but we could see. Oh, hey, we haven't talked to him in a while, but Biloxi Gambler's on the line. Hey, man.
Hey, skip it. Yeah,
I'm skipping it. I am skipping it. Now, regardless of what people think about Seattle, I know a lot of people here don't like Seattle just after what happened with everything over the last year and what was going on over there. That's not...
It was just a few people.
Yeah, well, regardless of what it was, I know it's not like that now. And at that time, I wouldn't have gone then either, if that was still going on. But it's not, and it's still not something that I'm going to go to this year. Just not going to do it. Now,
it's just too much hassle to fly right now. Because they're still doing the COVID thing. They did let a cruise ship out with just that
was a bad idea too, right? Because when they didn't when they get back, there was some people who had it or diagnosed with it or something. Wasn't that on a cruise ship?
No, I think it's still out there cruising. It's just cruise ship employees right now.
Oh, okay.
Something intent of purpose or something. I got buddies that work they're Bodax, they're comics on cruise ships.
Right, yeah.
And they're sailing in August. So
okay.
So I'll know more about it then, but anyway, right now, man, I just skip it. I got a question. Since you're not going to be on next week.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a headset and a little microphone, and RJ was saying earlier about on the Grand Theft Auto. I mean, people just basically want to be serial killers when you're
every day.
When you're online.
Yeah,
every day.
Is there a game that I could, or something that I could do online, just working out my headset and microphone, so I could play where they're not serial killers, or is that pretty much just everybody in America?
I don't do a lot of the online stuff that I do is with Destiny, and that is a situation where nobody can kind of grief you. They can't shoot you. But the online aspect of GTA, I
don't want to do that. I don't want to do Call of Duty. I don't want to. No. I don't even want to do Red Dead Redemption. Hey, first time, they gave me, because I got Red Dead Redemption. I play it, and then I'll replay it again. Then I'll replay it again, and I keep trying to do all the other side missions and stuff.
Yeah.
All the other. and I really, really enjoy that game. And it's just a lot of fun. I love the graphics. It's great. But now when you go online, I was on some stupid mission, because you talk about going on missions with people in Destiny, which I've never played, but don't even know what it is. But and there was these three people. It was a dad, his older son, and his younger son, and we, the four of us, were on this mission. But I didn't have a microphone then. And they said, well, who is this? They didn't know they were on a mission. We're supposed to be going somewhere. We got the little yellow trail. And they stopped to fish. So I stopped to fish next to them, you know. And they're like, well, who is this idiot, you know? And then the older son kills me. All right, so I respawn, I come back. And then the older son kills me again. He killed me 4 times, okay? And finally I said, okay, that's it for you, buddy. And I got, up there on the cliff behind a boulder, and I killed him. I killed the little kid, and I killed the daddy. They respawned. They came back again. I killed them again. And then finally the daddy says, okay, just everybody log off, and we'll come back in an hour or two, and he'll be gone. So it wasn't me. They're the idiots, so they were able to talk to each other, and that's why I got a headset and a microphone, so now I can talk, and then I can defend my case. But anyway, so I really don't want to get in a situation like that again. 2
things. You need to call us more often with these stories. And the other thing was somebody in the chat room suggested Fallout 76.
Okay.
That is a multiplayer Fallout game, but the community for it is very, very helpful. Yes, you can grief other players, you can kill them, but the community they don't do that in Fallout 76. If you're new, they want to help you. They want to help you get started and get set up, and they want to go on runs with you and make sure that you know how to play the game and that you're all set. That's the best thing that I've heard about Fallout 76 is the community is extremely helpful.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that, and I really appreciate it, and I guess thank you very much.
Well, you are welcome.
Fallout 76.
Fallout 76, and I hope we hear from you in 2 weeks when we come back, man.
Oh, yeah. I listen to every word, and I don't like to interrupt. I guess you're done with Until Dawn?
Oh, yeah, we finished that. We finished that up. We could have gone...
You didn't give us the rest of it. Have you done Man of Medan yet?
No, we haven't touched Man of Medan or Little Hope or whatever that new one is.
Yeah, I had to buy Little Hope because I needed $25 minimum to get free shipping off Amazon. So I said, okay, well, that's in my wish list. I'll go ahead and add it. But I haven't put it on. And I'm just a PS4 guy. So.
All right, man. Well, we got to run. We're coming up on the top of the hour.
Take
care, buddy.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.
Take care.
He's on a PS4, so that's where he'll have to play Fallout 76. It is on Game Pass, though, if you've got that. So
yeah, I'm sorry, but GTA there will be no peace. There's no peace in that game.
No, of course not. Of course not. So we have we got to run. That is going to do it for us. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat room. I want to thank all the callers we had there. That was great. Matt, Chris, Biloxi Gambler. Appreciate you guys calling in. And, again, we're not going to be here next week. We'll be here the week after next. Don't forget to go to ingamechat.net. Join us on Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on Steam. Again, we've got a Discord. Please join. It's a great way to interact with us without even having to call in. We can just take you through the computer if you're on Discord. Our Discord is at ingamechat.net. Go there. Go all the way to the bottom page. Join our Discord. Here is music from Lego Builder's Journey, something I want to check out. Have a fantastic week. Enjoy your holiday if you got one, and we will see you in 2 weeks right here.